Alrighty, y'all, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Noah. My dog Charles is running around somewhere with our other dogs, Tallulah and Barley. But this video is kind of weird. My uncle actually reached out to me. He's been a fisherman for most of his life, and he had tasked me with putting together a tackle box for him for $100. Now, the name of this video is a disclaimer. I spent a little bit more than $100 on it because he's my uncle and he's one of my biggest role models. But yeah, this is how I put together a tackle box for less than $100. Alright, so first things first, the actual bag. This is a Allen Gunnison switch pack, and this thing is actually super cool. I left the tags on it in case you wanted to exchange it. So let's go over the bag real quick. First thing, on the outside you're going to see these little buckles here. These are actually for the other packs. You can unbuckle it here and unclip it here and actually clip it on to the front of the pack right here. So if you want to have any type of accessible gear when you're on the trail or out fishing, you can buy a separate little, it's almost like a fly pack, a little small bag that goes on the front here. So this unclips and this comes off, okay? An adjustable strap right here if you want to strap down any towels or waders that goes across the bag that can hold towels, waders, what have you. You got these little loops on the front. They can hold lures, they can hold carabiners. Carabiners can be attached to pliers, to scissors, to anything like that. We get to, actually still on the outside of the pack, we have cup holders / rod holders on each side. And what's really cool about this, and the reason that I'm thinking about actually getting one of these for myself, is it actually has this little deployable pocket where it can literally fit your whole rod in here, and then just it straps down on the side. As you can see, the diagonal strap kind of comes down and across, and that'll hold your rod here at like a reasonable height behind your back. So if you're a pond hopper, this bag will be really good for you. You can carry 2 rods on you at all times, and they're gonna be kind of out of your way. Now I know, like when I go, I have carry just like a drawstring bag, and the rods extend way up above my back. It looks like I have a big old antenna on my back. But with this, the rods would only extend about maybe 2.5 to 3 feet above my head because they're sitting just a little bit lower than the backpack, which I think is really cool. And you can do it with 2 of them. It also has a little hole here for your if you have one of those water bags, that can come through here and clip up here on the strap. Another thing that's cool about the outside of this bag is you can actually, if you don't like the backpack version, which is what I like and what I was going for when I thought about this, what you can do is you can actually make this into a shoulder pack. So it only has 1 strap on the front and sits diagonally, which is super cool. So this thing has a lot of utility. On the outside, just starting on the outside. Here's Charles. He decided to come by. Say hello. What's up, little guy? All right, so going to the front pocket here. This is the one up here with the loops on the front of it. On the inside, you got a little, it's just a little pocket type deal. There's another zipper pocket if you want to keep anything dry. This is actually a dry. This is one of those, like, it's water, it like diverts water. It isn't actually waterproof. But on the front here, there's actually a completely waterproof pocket, which is lined with a plastic sealant that will actually keep everything in your bag, in this pocket. I'm thinking phone, keys, wallet, completely dry if the bag was to be submerged. Zip that up. You got a little front pocket here. This has got a little zipper pocket on the front for the mesh. You want to hold pliers, your sunglasses, small lures, a bag of lures. My go-to would be purple worms. I could totally see a bag of purple worms living up here. And then on the inside of here, you have another plastic lined, completely dry pocket, phone, wallet, keys, anything you want to keep dry. And then this is just a deep top pocket to keep, your pliers, a small tackle box, and the last pocket in the bag, which is what we have stored all of the tackle in. So this is a giant pocket that basically takes up the whole bag. It completely unzips, and inside you can fit 3 boxes in here, but we have 2. I believe these are 8 by 14 boxes at Cabela's, and actually they're on sale right now. You can get 4 of them for $5, which is pretty dope. In the front pocket here is 3 zipper pockets. And then you also have a big zipper pocket that you can store extra ones in, which this bag didn't fit in there, so I put some plastics back here. You can put a coat back here. You can put anything you really want. On the front side here, you got another little pocket here. Well, not little, it's pretty big. And then a little Velcro like hook thing almost. I imagine that would be for, I don't really know what. There's like a little Velcro, little strap type deal here. So bag, 55 bucks. All right, now for the juicy parts. We got the 2 boxes, 1, 2. Let's get into the lures and stuff that we said. Now, I will say I did cheat a little bit. I've been fishing my whole life. My dad fishing his whole life. His dad fished his whole life. So we actually had 2 or 3 extra tackle boxes that I got to go through and look for lures that can actually be used in a real life situation that we just forgot about or haven't used. Terminal tackle that is just kind of just sitting there and not serving any purpose. I'm going to call this the garage sale fund because it didn't really cost me any money to do this, and anybody can just kind of go and get a bunch of old tackle boxes at a garage sale or at a storage unit on eBay. Even they're probably auctioning them off. So let's go over the garage sale fund first. All right, so in this box, this is all mostly garage sale fund stuff. First of all, these boxes do come with all kinds of dividers, all kinds of different sizes of dividers. They have a larger compartment right here, and then 2 smaller compartments where you can fit specific baits and lures and whatnot. But this all came from the garage sale fund. I stocked up on these one time when they were on sale for a spring sale. Bought about 6 bags of them. So I threw in a bag of Ribbit frogs. I believe they retail for about $4.35. I also threw some assorted tubes in there. You can get tube bags on the cheap end for like $2 or $3. This is a little 4-inch red worm just sitting in one of our tackle boxes. I thought he could definitely use that. I believe these actually used to be green at one point and they just got dyed somehow. Probably from sitting around for too long. I also got a couple bullet weights. I believe these are 1/2 ounce or 1/4 ounce bullet weights that I found in one of our old tackle boxes. You can get those for really cheap as well. I got some snap swivels in case he wants to do some catfishing, and then some bullet sinker weights. And then there's also one drop shot weight in there that he can use for a drop shot. So garage fund box number 1 is about $8. This is where we start getting into some money here. So this is a garage fund box number 2. I threw in 2 spinner baits. One of them is actually one that I own, black and blue and white. Those are both 2 colors that I throw very frequently. Up here we have a couple crankbaits, a couple rattle traps. A couple of these are pretty old, a couple of them are pretty new. I don't really know what these retail for, honestly. Here we have a little square bill, probably about 3 to 6 foot diver. I have 3 rattle traps in here. One of them is a shiny shad color. One of them is baby size rattle trap. And then one of them is orange, green, and yellow because everyone knows that you gotta have some bright colors in your box. I have a old-fashioned deep diving crankbait, probably dies in the 16 to 20 foot range. Then I also have another shad imitating square bill, which actually I use this. This lure I'm sure is probably pretty expensive these days, but it's a one that we had a lot of and that we don't really use anymore. This is called the Heating Dying Flutter. This was one of actually my uncle's dad's lures, and I thought it would be really cool to go through some of those lures and give some back to him because we ended up with all the fishing stuff. This is a white popper that I believe his dad actually might have made. I mean, if he didn't make it, these things don't get too expensive, but this thing actually looks really pretty, and I'm excited for him to try this out. And then we have this white little skitter topwater deal. I don't know what this is called, but all in all, I would bet that if you went out and tried to buy these lures, even though they're old-fashioned, you'd probably spend around $30 to $50 for all of them. I didn't spend any money on these lures, which is nice, and they all fit really nicely into here. In fact, I could probably separate these even more if I wanted to, but I'm just going to leave them there and leave the organization up to his imagination and how he wants to do it. So that's box number 2. So let's actually get into what I did spend some money on. The first thing is this box of wide gap hooks. I fish a lot of Texas rigs and a lot of, I use these a lot. So I got him 5 different sizes from 4/0 all the way down to, I believe it's a 1/0 wide gap hook, which he should be able to use all of these at one point or another, whether it be for smallmouth, largemouth, catfish, saugeye, anything. These are pretty versatile hooks, and they pretty much can go into any soft plastic that you use. So I spent $10 on this wide gap hook setup. The next thing that I spent some money on, this is actually one of my all-time favorite swim baits, Strike King Rage Tail swimmers. I got 3.75 inch. Color's a baby bass color, but this is one of my all-time favorite swim baits, along with my dad's and the Kitex. But I decided to go with these because they were a little bit on the cheaper side. I believe I spent $6 on these. All right, the next thing I spent a little money on is this right here. One of the greatest baits, arguably, in my opinion, of all time. This is a 5-inch Gary Yamamoto purple Senko. I have caught more fish on this lure, more bass particularly on this lure, than I have on any other lure in my entire lifetime. This is one of my favorite lures. It's my favorite search lure. It's my favorite winter lure, summer lure, fall lure, spring lure. So this is definitely something that I thought he should have in his box. I believe I spent $8 on these. And the last thing that I spent some money on to fill his box with are these. They're Ultra Vibe Speed Craw Watermelon Candy, which they're basically just green pump. They look like green pumpkin. I've been fishing a lot of jigs lately and a lot of just crawfish imitations, and these have been one of my go-to crawfish baits. I believe they're only like $4. So $4, Zoom Speed Craw. All right, and then the last thing that I didn't spend any money on these, but at one time I did. I would guess that these would probably come out to a little bit more than $100, but I just had these boxes laying around, and let's kind of go over them. It's a bunch of soft plastic bags. So these are two big time lures that I've had in my box. One of them, they're both the Yum Swim In Dinger, but the reason that I like these is because they have little paddle tails on the back, and you can use them as a swim bait. You can use them as a worm if you just bite the little tail off, and you can use them as a Senko. So they're pretty versatile, and I got them in green and white, and then he already has the purple in there. So these didn't cost me any money. I just had them laying around, so I'm passing these down to him. So in the crawfish pocket here, these were also given to me. These are Z-Man craws. They're gray. And then I also have these big bite lures, which are really cheap. These are black and red. Dark color, lighter color, both I'm sure he'll find use for, and if he doesn't, then he can just get rid of them. But I don't need them, and so I'm giving them away. And yeah, these are pretty good lures. I've caught some fish on them, but just don't need them. And then last but not least, I have 2 bags of Zoom worms. One of them I use a lot on a drop shot rig for smallmouth and largemouth. When I want something more subtle and small and tiny, I'll go with this Zoom worm here. It's just a little purple and clear, and it works really well. And then I got a dark black and purple Zoom worm. These are 6-inch trick worms, and these trick worms work really well just along with all the worms. And I really like the purple worm, as you can tell, so I decided how to outfit him with many a purple worm. Alright y'all, so that is a tackle box for under $100. Obviously I would have spent a little more than $100 if I would have gone out and bought all this stuff from the get-go, but I really want to treat my uncle. He's been fishing with me for a couple years now, and I have never really repaid him and showed him how much it means to me when he just goes out, no complaints, and does the things that I like to do. $100 tackle box. Let's roll the footage of me giving it to him and see how he thinks about it.
Oh, finally?
Yeah. Thought now's as good a time as any.
Man, right off the bat, I love that.
Yeah, dude.
That's sharp.
Oh, I got
Sweet.
trolled.
It has like this, kind of like that military look to it.
Yeah. It's just like a good day pack.
Yeah, that thing's gnarly.
So,
This
got
is
2
awesome.
boxes, empty mostly. Rattle trap.
Oh, the old
There's some
rattle.
rattle traps in there too.
This is great, dude.
Spinner bait. And you got all
This
the
is
lures.
exactly why I asked you to get this stuff for me, because I have
Yeah,
no idea.
my dad and I worked on it together.
This is great, man.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you.
You're welcome. I love it. No problem. Yeah, no problem.
I'm excited about this.
I-
Guy. You can
No,
do this
dude.
for people.
No.
That's not, I just appreciate you going out
Yeah,
spending
yeah.
time on it.
Dude, I mean, I ordered most of the stuff on Amazon. This bag is sweet. I might get one for myself.
Well, I wouldn't even, when I was telling your dad, I was like, I just don't even know where to start. And now
Yeah.
that I see what's in here, I can then go back in and start, refilling it.
Yeah.
But
You ready?
dude, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. It looks good. It looks sweet. Glad you
I
like
love
it.
it. Yeah.